Hi guys, and welcome back to the Seanthesheepman channel. My name is Sean and I've got the dogs here behind me, and today we're going to be learning a little bit more about the dogs, how to tell them apart, and a little bit about each of their personalities. So if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. So let's get into the video, guys. So guys, I've got a little bit of time off this week and Stacey's working. She works from home, so it's just me and the dog between sort of 9 o'clock and 5 o'clock this week. And I thought it'd be a good little opportunity to show you guys a bit, well, teach you guys a bit more about the dogs, I should say, and show you how to tell them apart and things like that. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's start with the youngest here. This is Echo, and Echo is 2 years old. So Echo is the one who's most recently been trained to be a sheepdog, and he's doing pretty well. Some of his best points is his body position. He has a nice low natural body position and he picks up things fairly quickly. With Echo, some of the things he maybe just lacks is a bit of experience, and that at the moment, just learning how to take situations sometimes, and just to remember to listen sometimes as well. Personality wise, Echo he's kind of a big softie. He's a big sweet kind of boy. He's very calm for his age most of the time. He's a big clumsy kind of boy. He definitely doesn't realise his own size. He's also basically takes the lowest member in the pack, being the youngest, and he is definitely the most playful. He plays with all the others except for Kate, because Kate's just too much for him. But yeah, he's generally good with most other dogs. He can be a bit unsure around strange people, but that's kind of just because he was born in COVID. What are you doing, you big silly boy? He's a very comical big boy. He loves to roll around. Echo also is very long coated, very rough coated. The markings on his face are not symmetrical. The marking on his face is sort of curved and unsymmetrical. He has very long hair, and he is the biggest of all the dogs. And the fastest. What are you doing? Good boy. So guys, this is Storm. Storm is 4 years old, and Storm is Echo's mother. She is also a dog that we bred here ourselves. Storm, the best way to describe Storm is raw energy. Storm is both the little genius, the golden child, and the problem child all rolled into one dog. Storm is either sleeping or giving it 100 all the time. Super energetic, also super affectionate. If you are in her inner circle, especially with me, Storm really seems to be overly attached to me sometimes, but she is my working dog, so I guess that's not a bad thing. So Storm at work is really brilliant in open field. She is super obedient. She gives it her all. She's very driven on her task, and when she's out in open field, she has a lovely natural wide out run. She really moves into position well. The only thing Storm lacks is a little bit of power now and again. She doesn't like close quarters, so she doesn't do a lot of work in pens and things like that. And when sheep are getting really stubborn, Storm will back out now and again. So technically an amazing dog, but just lacking a bit of power at work. But there was ever the situation where I needed a bit of a powerful dog, we could just take Echo with Storm, and that balances it out pretty well. Lovely. I see you. So Storm at home, as I say, Storm is always given 100% energy, which can make her a lot to handle. Sometimes she can be very full on, like she's been now. She's always wanting to lick and nibble. So Storm is okay with people as long as they're introduced properly. The key with Storm is Storm can get overexcited very quickly. So when you come in, ignore her until she calms down and she will be completely fine. It's if you play into that energy or start trying to interact with her when she's in a high level, she does nip people. Storm is kind of 50-50 with other dogs. It definitely seems like a lot of other dogs just take a immediate disliking to Storm. And I believe that is because she's always in such a high energy levels. A lot of dogs just don't mix with that well unless you've taken the time to socialise. She does tend to get on with male dogs a lot better than females, and she can generally be okay with any dog if you spend a bit of time on it. So when we look at Storm, Storm is smooth coated. She's the only one of the two border collies that are short coated. She has very bright yellow eyes. She has that stripe going right the way up her face, which is very symmetrical. And she also has this black marking in the middle of her chest. I don't know if you can see it, but she has a black marking right here, which makes a very easy spot. She's also the smallest of the dogs, and she has So guys, this is Kate. I'm sure you all recognise her. And she is Storm's mother and Echo's grandmother. So Kate was the second working dog that I got after Haig. So I got Kate from the person who mentored me in dogs, and they gave me my first job in a sheep farm and mentored me with it as well. I bought Haig from them and I bought Kate from them. So the person that mentored me also sold working dogs professionally, so they would buy young dogs to train them to sell on to other farmers. And Kate was a dog that was bought through that, but it became obvious that she was extremely nervous around people and extremely timid at times. So when I sort of moved on from that job, he was moving on as well. He didn't have as much kennel space, and Kate was going to take more time to get right than was required. I didn't have a lot of money at the time, so basically I wasn't sure if I was going to get her, but then Stacey met her for the first time, and Stacey just fell in love with Kate straight away, and she was like, we're getting this dog one way or another. So I actually ended up making a deal with a person where I would pay half then and half when I had it later on, and that's how we got Kate. So because of Kate being so nervous, she didn't work for the first 6 months that we had her. We really did just a lot of bonding and things like that. And then she decided to come around to working. Because of the way Kate sort of had to be worked at first, she technically would be the worst of the dogs, but she's pretty good in other ways as well. So she doesn't have much of a stop. She picks when she wants to listen, and she can be quite a hard dog to handle because of the way she was trained. I couldn't really give her any trouble for very much without playing into that nervousness, so it was all about keeping things positive and fun at the beginning. And because of that, Kate does have a pace that's a bit fast at times, but when she settles into a herd, she settles into a good nice pace. What Kate is extremely good at is she remembers where every single gate is on the farm, and just from what you're doing, she kind of knows already what she's doing, and she requires very little instruction. You can send Kate out and she will do her thing and get the sheep there, and I won't need much directional control. Mainly what I'll be doing is slowing her down and pulling her back just a little bit to keep her on a good pace. So even though Kate was very nervous when we got her, she's probably one of the most confident around people. She really loves attention. She really likes people. Pretty good with dogs as well. Kate is the only one of the working dogs that lives in the house, and she's the only one that really wants to be. Kate is a very rare working dog where she's a really great working dog, but she can come into the house and be a great pet as well. And that is something that's rare in working dogs. These two would not appreciate being in the house. They do come in the house now and again, don't get me wrong, to cut when we are interacting with them, but really if they're not directly being interacted with, they'll just go sit at the door and scratch till they get back outside. Because to a working dog, the house can be quite a boring place. When you're used to being outside and hearing all the sights, smells and sounds into a place with 4 walls, working dogs don't really like that. But Kate does, so she's a bit different. And I suppose it's different with all dogs. There will be working dogs that are like Kate, a lot of them, but my dogs tend to be more outside orientated. But a lot of the time you wouldn't even notice she was in the house. She likes to lie up the hall or in behind the couch, and she also likes to come up and get plenty of attention as well. And last but not least, we have Monty. So guys, this is Monty, and Monty is a lurcher. So a lurcher is any sighthound breed bred to any non-sighthound breed. So Monty is a sighthound bred to a border collie. And Monty is not a working dog, so you don't see him on the YouTube or the TikTok as much because he's not a working dog. He's a house dog, so he is really just for companionship. And yeah, but Monty really just is like a pet dog. Lurchers are brilliant pets, I think. They are running dogs, but they are sprinters, and they are a bit like greyhounds, so the world's fastest couch potatoes. But also they have very big personalities, which makes them really great pets. Monty here was the first dog me and Stacey got together as a couple, and it was only about a month after moving in. And it just happened by chance. We went out to a dog kennel, which used to be a rehoming kennel but wasn't anymore. However, they did happen to have Monty, who was in the boarding kennel, and his owner went in for an operation and was expected to make a recovery, but he didn't. And they were left with him, and just happened by chance we were in at the right place at the right time. And the family of the man signed the dog over to us. And like I said, Stacey works from home, and Monty keeps her company a lot of the time when I'm not at home. He does get on with most of the other dogs, especially Echo and Kate. He really gets on with. I believe Monty is between 12 and 14 years old now, and it is sort of become apparent in the last few years that he can't keep up with the collies anymore. He does like to run around when it's chase, but you can just see he can't take the physical roughhousing anymore, so he does generally try and stay out of a lot of the play, especially when it's roughhousing style play. And he does sort of get a bit stiff in the mornings now, and his eyes aren't quite what they used to be. But as a young dog, Monty used to be fast. He was faster than they were. And him and Storm actually used to play a lot together. It's only been since he's got a bit older. Him and Storm maybe don't see eye to eye as much. And yeah, and Monty is in the house a lot more than the other dogs. He really does like the house, and that's a big difference I see from Monty to the working pack. Is the working pack would rather be outside most of the day, whereas, and that's no matter what weather it is, but Monty will want to be inside if it's wet, raining, cold. And the other dogs, they're just not like that. It doesn't matter to them what it's like outside. They would just rather be outside. And Monty is fairly easy to tell apart from the rest of the dogs. Also, one other thing that I do notice is with a pack of dogs like this, the hierarchy basically tends to go from oldest to youngest, and because Monty's been here the longest amount of time, he does actually get the most respect out of all the pack. And then Kate and Storm and Echo comes in last, even though Storm is the only one who will push her position to older dogs. But generally Monty and Kate will be shown the most respect out of the whole pack.